Be the light. Life wave.
Time's ticking. Welcome those of you that have made it on, and I thank you. You know, matter of fact, it's more than I thank you. I'm indebted. I'm indebted to you for making this time, squeezing into everybody's busy schedule on this holy week. I mean, this Palm Sunday. I mean, I'm feeling the joy and the spirit of it already, and things that have been happening with me today, and how my prayers have been received so far, and seeing everybody. You know, I'm gonna make the effort to just come out and just listen for a few minutes. I feel indebted to you, you know, and so I thank you for squeezing me into your schedule like this. Some folks, you know, some of y'all have seen me and spoke to me recently, and some haven't. So, you know, I'm here. You know, I'm I'm still around, and I'm here, you know, praying for everybody's wellness, and that's why I'm passionate about what's happening here today. I'm very passionate about it. Um, you know, for those of you who know my story, um, you know, I'm a throat cancer survivor, and that experience, you know, reconnected, realigned me. I feel spiritually, and opened my you know my vision to understanding more about our physical health and how it relates to, you know, to the Bible, and then the way the good Lord has worked me, I'm locked in. You know, I can't just forget about it. Oh, I survived cancer and go back to doing what I was doing before. That was life changing, and I feel indebted to maintain that purpose of taking care of myself to the utmost. You know, and then I got my issues. You know, big pharma, things of that nature, and I'm trying my best to do what I have to do to not rely on prescriptions. So here I am today, real quickly, to say I'm living without having to take prescriptions to maintain my cholesterol and my sugar, uh, and my circulation and things like that. And that's my rhetoric. That's my speech when I see and get a hold of any of my family and friends and strangers. Like, hey, you know, what are you doing to take care of your body, your temple? You know, that's God's created that for us, and I'm into respecting it as much as possible and balance. So what I'm passionate about is something that's new to me. It's been around for many years, but it was introduced to me by brother Derek Hawkins, and this gentleman I have the utmost respect for. I mean, we're both engineers. We met way back in the '80s, and it wasn't by accident. It was God's plan, and I respect and look up to how he operates. He maintains himself, very professional, and you know, and I can relate to him because, you know, we're around the way dudes. You know, we grew up regular, and but he's focused and serious about what he likes to do, and he's open and always willing to share. So last year, you know, even before that, years before that, we were involved in learning about crypto together and making investments and things of that nature. And that turned out well, for the most part. And so when he brought this to me, you know, I was wide open in terms of listening and learning. And that's one of the things the cancer treatment and God bringing me back out of that has locked me in, not to be closed-minded about new knowledge, new information, you know, new people. You know, don't be afraid, you know, and be, you know, realistic with myself that, you know, I don't know everything, and I could always learn something. And that's also my engineering background. You know, you always want to try and learn things. And as I'm getting older, I'm realizing it's hard to sit down and learn things, but I don't want to fall back. I want to keep moving forward. And LifeWave, when he brought it to me, I was listening, and I said, okay, the science makes sense to me. I can relate to it. And when he provided me the samples, you know, my quick little testimony was I didn't really notice anything at first until I decided to locate the X39 patch, which helps facilitate the science that rejuvenates your stem cells, I started putting it places on my body that I thought I needed to take a look at and get some help with. And that's when I felt something happening, when I placed it on my chest area above my heart. I literally felt something going on there, and it didn't put me in a panic. It just made me say, because by wearing it on my on my heart, after a few days of wearing it on my lower back and on my belly button area, I couldn't say I could pinpoint what the patch was doing for me, but not until I decided to move it towards my chest and let it rest there, because we wear the patches for like a 12-hour intervals and we hydrate, you know, I'm doing now. I felt a warm glow in my chest, you know, a few hours after I placed the patch there. And it wasn't a panic feeling. It was just like a warmness from the inside of my chest area. And when I looked down, I realized, oh, wow, I have this patch on here. And I didn't go into a panic. I wasn't sweating, no numbness, no nothing. It just felt like a warm, welcoming kind of glow in my chest. And I wasn't sure what that was. So I went back to sleep and I left it there. And then in the morning, I moved it down to my belly button. And at that moment, I realized, okay, there's something to this science. It really is doing something. And when I did my own little research, understanding the power of stem cells and what a stem cell actually is, I said, yes, I'm about rejuvenating stem cells. I'm like, whatever I have to do to make sure this cancer does not come back and and that I could, you know, help improve my well-being. I said, I'm going to go for it. I took the leap of faith and I invested, you know, I purchased. And as the days went by, I'm seeing, you know, my feeling more rested, waking up more kind of alert. I'm even remembering my dreams a little better, you know, and my dreams feel a little more 3D-ish almost. And I'm like, wow. And so I've been literally wearing the patch for months now. You know, I mean, I think this fall it may hit a year, and I mean, I'm seeing all sorts of things. My hair and my nails grow back faster. I mean, well, a bald spot, and not yet. You know, maybe I got to go a few more years with that. But you know, realistically, I'm seeing my vision even improve, because I was wearing magnifying readers at one point, and I stopped because I read somewhere that the readers kind of weaken your eyes. And then I'm noticing now, after wearing this patch for months and months, and not every single day. I don't wear it every single day. I may wear it like three to 4 days out of the week at most. And I hydrate, you know, fruits, water, uh, alkaline water, and I'm getting ready to invest and start drinking hydrogen water. They have those bottles that you can use to hydrogenate your water, and I'm going to see what that does. And so I I'm to a point now where I believe this patch is really anti-aging, you know, for me. And so I wear it on my lower back when I've had issues. I'm experimenting, I'm putting them everywhere, you know, behind my neck. And so my, you know, things like that have indicated to me that this is not a scam or a waste of time, or it's not real science. It is real. And then when I sit and speak to Derek, and I literally hear the testimonies like mine from, you know, tens and 20s of people, you know, because I don't go to the big conventions yet. I plan on going to one, but I'm just seeing these testimonies, and I'm like, how is it these, you know, like 50 people I'm looking at here, they're all giving testimonies of how these patches have literally, you know, elevated them. I mean, people with congestive heart failure saying that their hearts are getting better, you know, vision, and, you know, phantom pain from lost limbs gone. And it just builds up. And I said, okay, I'm going to stick with this. So now, instead of me being selfish, just getting mines and enjoying it and seeing myself well, I want all my loved ones, I want all my friends to know there's other options besides just taking the pills of big pharma to feel better. and prolonging better health. You know, because a lot of us, we know what it is. You can spend weeks going to visit folks in the hospital, friends and relatives and coworkers and things of that nature. You know, I'm trying to put the brakes on that a little bit and say, hey, think about your health, do something that makes sense, give it a try. And you know, Derek reassured me that hey, it's refundable, okay, if you really think it's not happening for you. And that was the key for me. So please let me take the moment to introduce Mr. Derek Hawkins. I mean, this man is a deacon. You know, he's an engineer. He's a public speaker. He knows my family. My family knows him. I mean, we go back to the 80s, and I value his opinion, and I trust his opinion. You know, he's a virtuous person. He's not one to run a scam or run anything derogatory. He's well respected at his church and in his community. So I figured he'd be the best person to give you the meat and the details of this product, LifeWave, and how it works. And it's an amazing thing. And Brother Derek, are you able to jump in and add validity to what I'm saying here?
Absolutely, I'm ready, Steve. I appreciate that introduction. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. And before I get started, I got to say a lot about Steve. And one thing about Steve, he loves people. Steve's a passionate person, and as you said, we have a mutual respect for each other. I've known Steve, like I said, since the early '80s, and we met in college. And one thing that I know about Steve as well, he loves people. He cares about people. And if you've ever been to a life altering experience like Steve, having cancer and overcome, you actually treat life a lot differently. I worked in the World Trade Center. I was literally late on 9/11. I was downtown. I was literally steps away from the building when it collapsed, and I survived that. And I see life a whole different way as a result of that. I appreciate every day. So again, those of you who are invited by Steve, if you don't mind, put in the chat if you're invited by Steve, make sure you put that in the chat. If you're invited by one of our other partners, please put the name in the chat so that they know that you're here. There's some people who, when you look in the chat, you don't see a name, you see a phone number, you see an iPod. Let me see somebody scrambling. In the vet, if you cannot try not to alter the screen. But anyway, I want to thank Steve again for his launch. This is his launch again. Steve again. It's not just about business. This is about life. It's a life-changing experience. And as Steve said, we're going to be talking about a patch. I'm going to show you what this look. This is about. It's about the size of a quarter. Again, it's called a stem cell patch called X39. The video that we played at the beginning, you may not have heard it real clearly, but all it was talking about is how we can harness the power of light, how we are light beings. God designed us to depend on light, particularly the sun. And again, and that is the basis for this particular company and LifeWave. So let me go and get right into the science. The question I have for you, and myself and Steve asked you, have you been patched yet? And again, if you have not been patched yet, I guarantee you by the end of this presentation, strictly on the information, the facts, and the results, you will want to try the patch. Again, if nothing else, you can try the patch. And again, it's going to be life-changing for you. So let me get right into the science of why it's important. This is called X39 patch, and the reason it's called X39 because there have been 38 attempts to get this patch to do what it does today. And this is important. By the time we turn 30, half our stem cells become inactive. By the time we turn 60, nearly all of our stem cells are inactive. And many of you, if you're somewhere between 30 and 60, you have experienced some changes in your life. You may get sore now. The things you used to do when you're younger take longer to heal. I can remember as a child breaking an arm and scraping my knee and getting cuts and bruises. I remember being in a cast. It seemed like for only a week or two. It was a soft cast, but right after I got out of that cast, I was out playing again as if nothing had happened. That is because when you are younger, your stem cells are very active. As you get older, if I were to have that same break at my age, not only would I have a cast on for a long time, I'd probably never recover fully, and I'd have all kind of things associated with it. So again, it's important for you to understand that your stem cells are actually the tissues and organs in your body. They make up your repair system. So the way that our body heals itself is our stem cells are the healing part of our body. That is why you hear about people getting stem cell injections. Several years ago, stem cells became the big talk of the pharmaceutical industry because they figured if they can put stem cells back into your body, it can rejuvenate your body. However, there's a lot of challenges with stem cell injections. One, first and foremost, it is cost inhibitive. A stem cell shot, usually it's a local injection. Let's say you have a bad knee. It could cost you anywhere from 5 to 20,000 to as much as $50,000 for one stem cell shot. Usually you have to let it wait, come back 6 months later. There's no guarantee that it works. Again, you're not sure when people are injecting stem cells where they were harvested from. The bottom line is there's a lot of controversy about using stem cells. And again, it's not covered by medical insurance for a reason. And some people have to literally go out of the country to get it. Now, again, the less active stem cells we have, the slower that we heal, the faster we feel effective aging. That is why you see people today that are maybe in their 30s and 40s, and even as young as their 20s, getting diabetes. They're having all kinds of challenges with their life. They're not healing as quickly. People are dying at a younger age at a rapid rate. That is because our stem cells, again, are not active. But again, not to mention all of the challenges we have with the water, with the issue that happened in Detroit several years ago when they had contaminated water, didn't even share that with the citizens. With the pollution that we experienced from the fires in California, we had a fire in Canada 2 years ago that was so bad that if it carried over to the New York, New Jersey region, the sky was literally a yellow haze, and we were warned not to even go outside because it wasn't healthy to breathe the air in, and not to mention the food that we eat. The food is just not the same. Our farms over farm the land. The minerals are not as they used to be. We have all kind of chemicals and what we call processed foods because it's quick and easier. A lot of the ingredients that are in our foods today are even banned in other countries. So again, we have enough stress to deal with the what we eat, what we drink, and what we breathe. Not to mention work. If you work for a living, if you have a job and you have to go to work, you have to commute. If you live in New York City, you understand the stresses of either dealing with traffic or the subways, getting to and from your job. That's stressful enough. Then you get to your job and your manager or the person you work for, a lot of times they're not even as smart as you are. A lot of times they don't treat you the way you should be. In fact, most people work just hard enough so they don't get fired. And most companies pay you just enough so you don't quit. You have to do that 30, 40 years of your life, retire sick, and now you have to spend all the money that you earn in trying to get healthy. So we have a solution for that today. So again, Steve invited you here today because he literally cares about you. And again, because of what he's been through, he's passionate about it. So hopefully you will take this information and run with it. Means that people experience the effects of aging, and we have that solution. So let's get right into the science behind this patch we call X39. Now, the X39 is a proprietary form of phototherapy. Proprietary simply means there's a patent on it. You can only get it from a brand partner from LifeWave. Phototherapy is not new. If you go back to 1,000 years ago, they used different colored glass as a form of science to change effects by using different colored glass to do different things. In fact, I can remember as a kid, I was inquisitive. It's probably why I became an engineer. And I can remember having a magnifying glass and taking that glass, and there was some dry leaves in the park, and I would sit there and hold it to get the harness the strength of the sun, and I was able to literally burn a hole through a leaf just by holding it. So that just told you the power of the sun and the power of light. Again, it's a patented nanocrystal technology. Nano simply means very small and minute. And again, that is why when you look at this patch, when I first looked at it as an engineer, I said, there's no way something that small is going to be able to help my body. But again, when you understand nanoscience, you understand that it does work. It's non-transdermal, which means it doesn't penetrate the skin. That I love, as Steve said, we have to deal with the pharmaceutical cartels. They give us, unfortunately, a lot of time they give us drugs and things that we use that maybe help temporarily, but a lot of times they have long-term effects that are even worse. I have a lot of respect for doctors, but unfortunately, doctors, when they go to school, they don't spend most of their time learning how to treat anything or to prevent anything. They spend most of their time learning how to treat. You know, what's the treatment? You tell them your diagnosis, they'll recommend a drug, a chemical, or surgery. But unfortunately, if you're like me, sometimes I'm horrified when I look at a commercial and they talk about taking this drug or that drug. And they say, however, what the big print giveth, the small print taketh away. And it tells you that if you take this drug, you can have a heart attack. It could even lead to death. Now, I don't know about you, but if my choice is were to take something that could either give me a heart attack or die or just deal with the issue I'm dealing with, I may forego taking that particular drug. But again, we're fortunate that we have a solution for you. It's 109 invasive, does not penetrate the skin. There's no drugs or chemicals. So that first and foremost tells you about this patch, how it works. Let me tell you about the gentleman who created this patch. Now, it says on the screen that he has over 130 patents. David Schmidt, he is not only the CEO of the company, he is the inventor of the patch. He has well over 200 patents today. He's constantly looking for new innovative ways to heal people. He's a man of faith. He's a scientist and inventor. He specializes in something called age reversing technology. Now, out of the over 200 patents that he now has today, well over 70 of them are dedicated to age reversing technology. Now, this is not Dave's first rodeo. In fact, if you 20 years ago, when Dave first came on the scene, he was actually hired by the U.S. government, in particular the Navy SEALs. You know, that's a very special portion or team within the U.S. Armed Forces. They had come up with a new submarine, but they wanted to make sure that the Navy SEALs stayed alert for more than 36 hours without crashing, without having those, side effects and any long-term without any injections. And he developed his first energy patch well over 20 years ago. Now, in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research because that was the buzz at the time. He spent about 10 years and almost $4.5 million, almost $5 million of his own money. Think about that. How many of you would spend 10 years and $5 million of your own money to try to find something, a cure that's going to help other people? That gives you an idea of his character. That gives you an idea of what's important to David. Again, he's a who's who among scientists. Again, and he is the person behind this patch. Now, I'm going to play a short video shortly, but let me tell you that there is a patent behind this patch. And one thing about a patent is you cannot get a patent for something if it does not work. Let me say that again. You can't get a patent for something if you say it does X, Y, Z, but it doesn't do X, Y, Z. You can only get a patent for something if it does what it says it does. And that's what this patch does. Let me just read some of what it says in the patent. It's a wearable phototherapy apparatus that produces beneficial effects to the human body, such as activation of stem cells, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief via a non-transdermal container. You heard Steve talk about some of the benefits that he's experienced by wearing the patch. The non-transdermal apparatus, it reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate something in the body called a copper peptide or GHKCU. So if you want to look up the benefit of this patch, take the time to look up GHKCU. It's called a copper peptide. It's a protein in the body. And again, it was studied back in 1973 by another scientist, a man of faith as well. His name is Laurent Picard. And what Laurent Picard discovered, he discovered that if you can figure out a way to elevate your copper peptides, it will wake up your dormant stem cells. Think about it. Back in 1973, he spent his life, in fact, Laurent Picard, when he was 5 years old, he told his mother that he's going to find a cure for cancer. And the reason he said that is because his grandmother died of cancer. His mother was devastated, so he made a promise to his mother at 5 years old that I'm going to figure out and find a cure for cancer. Now, he spent his life trying to find a cure for cancer. Now, he did not discover a cure for cancer, but what he did discover, he is the one who discovered the copper peptide. Now, Laurent Picard comes from a family of ministers, these 15 ministers in the family, and they told him when he was actually trying to find a cure for cancer, he said, please, God, let me find something that's going to help relieve people's pain. Let me find something that's going to help people get rid of certain things that they deal with. And he is the one who discovered the copper peptide called GHKCU back in 1973. Now, if you look at what David did, David took that information and spent 10 years of his life also trying to figure out how to activate dormant stem cells using what he learned from Laurent Picard. And guess what? He found that after 38 tries on try 39, guess what? The X39 was born. Right now, this X39 is what's developed. I'm going to play a short video, and you're going to hear it's about 3 minutes long. This video is going to actually explain to you how X39 works. I'm going to actually even break it down even further after the video. So in the next 3 minutes, if you want to take some notes, jot down some information, we're going to explain how this patch works. And on the other side, I'm going to tell you how to wear the patch, where you can get it, the other benefits of it. But again, let's watch this short video, and I will see you on the other side.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light that can promote a general state of health and healthy activity unique to each LifeWave patch. Here's how the technology works. First, the patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared energy emitted from the body is reflected back into the body.
Sorry.
Taps into the body's own
Close.
natural energy.
I close and just
LifeWave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative energy and enhances your ability to live well without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals. To find out more, contact your distributor. LifeWave. Live long, live well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the video that kind of explains how the patch works. And again, I just want to remind people as you come into the Zoom, if you haven't already done so, indicate in the chat who invited you. Sometimes people come in and we can see their phone numbers. We can see whether they're on the iPhone or not. We need to know if you are invited by Steve or one of our other members. So if you can, remember to do so. Let me get to the next slide. So again, just to give you a breakdown of what you just saw in that video, the way the X39 works is very simple. It's almost like the way that we get vitamin D. Remember, we are light beings. God is designed to be light beings. And when we get vitamin D, when you go out into the sun, it's not that you get vitamin D from the sun. Certain wavelengths of light, infrared light, when it hits our body, it activates the vitamin D that is already in us. God is designed our body to heal itself. So when you go out into the sun, the certain wavelengths of light hits the body, it activates your vitamin D, and now your vitamin D produces itself. Well, this patch works the same way. What this patch does when you wear it, it blocks the light, infrared light, and heat that's leaving the body. And if you've ever seen a demonstration with night vision goggles, you notice that the people in the that wear the night vision goggles, they can literally see people miles away. And you see like a glow around their body. It looks like a light being because we are light beings. So we give off heat, we give off energy. And so what this patch does, it acts as a mirror. And because the way it was designed, it reflects the light and the infrared light back inward into our bodies. It activates something called your copper peptide, which I talked about earlier, your GHKCU. They call that the holy grail of copper peptides. And once it does that, it wakes up dormant stem cells. Now, once your stem cells wake up, because they're the repair cells of the body, it starts to go into the body and see what the body needs. And as a result of that, you have increase of strength. You have it reduces inflammation. Your energy vitality clicks up, increased stamina. Your mental clarity. Steve talked about that at the beginning, how his mental clarity clicked up. His dreams were even more memorable, more rich. Restore muscle and skeletal conditions. Your improvement in sleep. Your improvement in your skin appearance. So these are just some of the many effects that benefits of wearing X39 patch. That's why I said if you're interested in any of these things that you see on the screen, you need to have the X39 patch to do so. Now, look, here's a brain scan. Now, this is a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. And when you took the brain scan in session number 1 in the far left, you notice the orange reddish area. That represents inflammation in the brain. It represents a lack of brain coherence. You heard Steve talk about how he started having more mental clarity. He woke up, he's more alert. That is because your stem cells, once they're reactivated, it starts to go to every part of your body. Look what happens in 3 weeks after wearing the patch. There's no more inflammation. She has improved brain coherence. In fact, if you look at session number 3, in 6 weeks, in only 6 weeks, complete turnaround, better brain coherence. We've had people that have had migraine headaches for years. Guess what? Using the patch helped them restore and get rid of those migraine headaches. So bottom line is the patch does work. And even though this is a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman, it represents the scan of their stem cells, and the stem cells are throughout your body. So even though this is a scan of a brain, if this is happening in your brain, what is happening in your blood? What is happening in your bone structure? What do you think is happening in the rest of your body, your liver, your heart, your collagen, your joints? These things are taking place as we speak by wearing a patch. Now, what happens? These are the long-term results. In the first few days, 4,000 of your genes begin to reset. That's very significant because there have been studies done about the benefits of drinking red wine. One of those benefits is that you can reset 2 of your genes. And that's because there's an ingredient in wine called resveratrol. And resveratrol is nothing other than the extract of a grapeseed. Now, just can you imagine how much red wine you'd have to drink to reset 4,000 of your genes? And because the 4,000 genes begin to reset, some people will experience an immediate relief in different areas. Some will take longer because the patch knows where your stem cells know where your body needs most. So again, it may not go to the area that you're thinking about, but as long as you wear the patch and you're consistent with it and wear it over time, you will have the experience. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. I just shared with you a scan of a 77-year-old woman. You saw what happened with her brain, so that's happening throughout her body. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. That is very important, particularly for people like myself. I was an athlete. I played Division I basketball at a high level. I played some semi-professional ball. And one thing about playing sports, your joints, your collagen, you need a lot of collagen to give that cushion between your knees and your joints and your elbows. Or if you just work hard and you're on your feet a lot, you understand the importance of collagen for the skin and the hair and everything else. Within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. That is not a typo. Within 6 months, your heart reverses in age by 8 years. And I'm talking about 8 vascular years. Let me explain that so it's clear. You can be 60 years of age because that's how long you've been on Earth based on your date, your birth date. However, if you were someone who worked out, you ate right, you exercised, you didn't indulge in things that were negative that impact your body, you can be 60 but have the body or the vascular age of somebody in their 50s. And you could have the opposite. You could be somebody who drank and used drugs and alcohol, didn't exercise, sat around, didn't really do much in your life. And again, your body has a lot more strain on it. So again, you could be 60, but when you go to your doctor and they look at your vascular age, you have the body of a 70-year-old. So the bottom line is within 6 months, your heart reverses in 8 years. And it's recommended for every year, decade that you live in, you should wear the patch for what they call for every decade, you should wear it for that many months. For example, if you're 60 years of age, you should wear it for at least 6 months to get the full results of it. But again, you don't stop there because who wouldn't want to continue to have the things in your body reverse? It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing, and that is a direct quote from David Schmidt, the CEO and inventor of the X39. Now, this is a picture of a gentleman. You can see on the left, he had vitiligo. And again, for those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's not very easy to deal with. Look at the picture on the right. That's what happened to him after wearing the patch for several months. That is just one of the benefits of people wearing the patch because within 3 months, your collagen improves. Now, how do you wear the patch? Very simple. You heard Steve talk about wearing it different parts of the body, but when he put it on his chest, he felt a warmness in his body because the patch started working. And that's where it needed most. Again, the fact that he's a cancer survivor says a lot. Again, you wear the patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off. What I do is I keep mine by my toothbrush in the morning. When I brush my teeth, I also put my patch on. You wear the patch for 12 hours on, and then you take it off after 12 hours and let your body repair and rejuvenate. It is scientifically proven that your body repairs and rejuvenates itself when you are at rest or it's in a rest state. So let's say you put it on at 8 o'clock in the morning. Guess what? You wear it, you take it off at 8 o'clock at night, you throw it away. Ladies, women, do not give the used patch to your husband. All right. And you wear it, let your body repair and rejuvenate. And then again, you just repeat it. You can wear more than one patch at a time, but you literally one does the trick. In some cases, people wear one. If you look at the two diagrams on the screen, you notice the two places where the patches are placed. One is about an inch below the belly button. The other one is at the top of your your vertebrae, just where the neck meets your shoulder. And again, the reason they put it there because anytime you do a clinical study, you have to be consistent with the information and where you take the data. That is where it's put it. That's also areas of large concentrations of your stem cells. However, you can wear the patch anywhere in the body. I'd say put it where it hurts or put it where areas of need. And again, let the patch seek out what it needs to do first. Drink plenty of water, as Steve talked about. We need to hydrate. We need to be hydrated, preferably alkaline water, water that has minerals in it, water that is healthy. In fact, if more people drank more water, more people would be healthier. And if you think about it, that is why anytime you go into the emergency room, one of the first things they do is they hydrate you because majority of the people in the U.S. Are walking around dehydrated and they don't even know it. I had to be conscious of that. I have to actually be intentional about drinking water because again, water creates movement. It represents movement. And again, if your body is stagnant and things aren't moving away around, guess what? You're gonna have a lot of problems and issues. Now, it sounds so sophisticated, but let's simple explain. Let me explain it again. This patch, it's a non-transdermal patch. It's about the size of a bandage of a quarter. You put it on your body. You wear it for 12 hours on, 12 hours off, drink plenty of water. And what this patch does, because of the way it's designed, it reflects your own infrared light and heat back inward into your body like a mirror. And when it does that, it wakes up your dormant stem cells. And once your dormant stem cells are awake, guess what? It goes to work and says, okay, what does the body need? Let's look around and see what we can do. Some people will have literally an immediate result. I'm talking about minutes from wearing the patch. Some will take a week. To give you my experience, when I first got the patch, I wanted to use the patch because I had discomfort in my lower back for playing basketball well over 60 plus years. And I wanted to get to this. I was going to physical therapy twice a week. And so when I first got the patches, I got it from a friend of mine. Again, as an engineer, I did my research. I said, I still was concerned because of the size of the patch. But in the first week of wearing the patch, and I didn't even tell my wife I was wearing a patch, she noticed that I had stopped snoring and I slept like a baby because I have sleep apnea. Have not had sleep apnea since. It's been over a year and a half of wearing the patch. And about 3 weeks later, that is when my discomfort in my lower back literally went away. I have not been back to physical therapy for my back since then. I used to be able to, when I would sit down for more than 45 minutes to an hour, I would have discomfort in my lower back. I would have to stretch and get, before I start moving, it was sore and uncomfortable. When I went to bed at night, I had to sleep in a certain position. If I wasn't sleeping just in the right position, guess what? I was tossing and turning all night. I mean, my wife was tossing and turning all night. So again, she gets better sleep now because of the patches. She's experienced tremendous results from it as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to share just two testimonies with you. The first one's going to be a gentleman. He's a vet, retired vet. He worked in law enforcement. His wife's a nurse for over 40 years. He experienced tremendous lot of trauma to his body. He started wearing the patches. He's going to share with you his experiences. And the other one is going to be a gentleman. He probably the worst case of child abuse in Long Island. He's going to share with you his experiences. And after that, I'm going to come to the other side. For those of you who are so inclined, not only is this an opportunity to improve your wealth. When I say your wealth, I'm actually talking about your health. Because when I think of wealth, if I had a choice to have $1 million or have my healthy body, I would choose health every time. But what if you can have both? Will you have an opportunity to not only live healthier, but also have an opportunity to generate an income for your family and your friends, simply because you care about them and you want to share this information with them, and that's exactly what we do. So, for those of you who are so inclined, stay for the after the video. The testimonies stay around for another 10 minutes. So I'm going to explain to you how you can not only get the patches again, and I'm also talk about how you can position yourself to create wealth for your family. Let's do this first testimony.
Turning 60 here in the and the body really has taken a toll. And I just had my 18th surgery last December on my shoulder repair. I had a 17 on my neck and my lower lumbar. The last back surgery I had last year was with 2 rods in my back. So I've got a neurostimulator wire running up to my neck. I look like a Terminator on the inside. So I was waking up. I was in pain every day, and I didn't for years, since 1998 actually. And then so didn't know what it felt like to be out of pain. And I tried everything. I've done everything from top hospitals, from Johns Hopkins to down in Orlando, Florida, and Tampa, Florida hospitals and doctors and everything. And I tried about everything, acupuncture, you name it, and still experiencing pain. And because I've been in Iraq and the things that I did, dealt hard with PTSD. And so my sleep over the years have been very poor. When I say poor, on an average of 2 to 3 hours a night. 4 hours was a good night, where there's either the pain or reoccurring nightmares. And this has gone on for over a decade. So a few weeks ago, a pastor told me about the patches. When he mentioned it, Bishop Larry Jackson, when he mentioned it, I was like, okay, I'm ready. Just send it. And he told me about the stem cells. I've heard about that, read about that prior, and so He called Miss Gwen and got the patches to me about 2 weeks ago, and I put got an example of the X39, 49, and the Ocean Wave. I think that's what it is, Ocean Wave. Either way, I took a patch because I was really hurting that night and put it on my lumbar. And this is no joke. 30 seconds after putting that patch on, within 30 seconds, I was feeling no pain. I mean, I'm moving my hips around, like I had a hula hoop on, just trying to make the pain happen, and there was no pain, and I couldn't believe it, and then, but it was true, and slept fine. So ever since these last 2 weeks, and I keep a record on my phone, I have an app for my sleep, and how many hours, what's my REM sleep and so forth, how much restful sleep. Prior to these patches, my average time was between an hour and 50 minutes and 3 hours and 33 minutes of getting sleep per night. Since I've had the patches, I'm getting 7 and 8 hours a night. But PTSD, as far as the nightmares, I haven't had one nightmare in the last 2 weeks. So this patch is amazing. So amazing that my wife, who's an RN for 34 years, who's been dealing with nerve pain in her leg, she uses it and it's helped her tremendously. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it because it's true.
Worse on record case of childhood abuse, and they show Long Island in the 1970s. Two of my twin brothers, they weren't my twin, they were twins with each other, they perished, and myself and some other siblings survived and became scattered. As a result, the abuse I sustained, a lot of the abuse that came from pool sticks, it caused over 118 fractures in my body, and the doctors could see the bone spurs, the chips off of the bone everywhere. And as a young person, I overcame a lot of that, most all of it. As I got older, it brought havoc on me. Every type of rare arthritis that's out there, as a result, it seems I got it. My parents would be arrested if they took me to the doctor, so I was left at home for these things to heal. Nerves grew around those bone spurs, and so they cannot be removed now. I have suffered as an adult pain that is indescribable. I have gout, a rare form of arthritis. I have teeth syndrome, a rare form of arthritis. I have kyphosis of the spine, which is hunchback, meaning my spine will decide to bend on its own involuntarily, and you could feel it as the bones are cracking. Multiple osteophytes, so when I sit up straight, the bones first to press on the nerve. And sometimes it would take me until about this time in the evening, between 6 p.m. and now, to be able to sit up or make it to the side of my bed to use a urinal. Now, I usually preface, let me say it now, this is a tale of triumph, not sadness. I today, as the grandfather and a father of two, can now go and visit my kids or hang out with them. And I've only been using these patches for 22 days. After 6 days, I walked 2 miles, something I hadn't been able to do in a decade and a half. On Thanksgiving, I visited my 36-year-old son. He is an adult with a disability, and it's the first time I could visit him on Thanksgiving in 11 years instead of sitting home crying. The pain would be so unimaginable at times that I literally feel like I was passing out. All I could do was pray. Couldn't even tell you my name in those moments. And I've asked about assisted suicide and everything else because there wasn't much of a life for her. It hurt all over, and it hurt terribly bad. Within 3 days, I felt very little pain at all. Almost none. At 6 days, I walked 2 miles from the Bronx into Manhattan, And I never had to sit down once. I never had to stop. I didn't think about it till I was walking over the overpass over the major Deegan. I've been able to carry my own groceries now instead of having to order them. I've been able to carry gallons and gallons of things so much so I realized I need to chill out a little. I'm over there. Took the subway to see my son on Thursday. And I enjoy the fact here I am traveling to Brooklyn from the Bronx. I'm enjoying it. I didn't take a cab. I decided to walk a quarter mile from Utica Avenue to his home and do the same going back, although my brother, my big brother, Dallas Bell, who is a part of why these patches are in my life, he introduced me to Miss Paula Pierce, who sent me the patches, and Ms. Yvonne Lance, who also sent me patches and got me well in a record amount of time. I'm on disability because I haven't been able to work since 1990s for the aforementioned reasons. But today, all I can do every day is thank God I can get up any time I want. I can go without taking the pills because they're PRN and they're opioids. And I can give my kidneys and my blood and my bones a break from the toxins of chemicals. I can offer to take my neighbor's garbage out when I go out. When they had to take mine out, I keep it in the freezer because I couldn't get them out of here. And I didn't like to ask them. They had to get my mail. I'm offering to do these things and I'm doing them with ease. I haven't felt this good since I was a teenager. You mentioned your shoulder. I had a torn tendon in the right shoulder. Not only could I not sleep well that side, but I had such a hard time. I have a $3,800 guitar and I can't even pick it up at home. So I'm afraid it's gonna fall and break. Now I can literally curl and lift weights. I'm doing it within moderation, and I'm going to continue doing the other things I've been doing. I'm not trying to replace these things, but I'm telling you now, it feels impossible. I didn't want to leave my children behind, but I didn't want to live in that constant moment of pain. I couldn't even go to the pharmacist to get my pain meds sometimes for 2 months because it hurt too much to go get them, ironically. Now I'm forgetting to take the pain medicines at times. So I just want you all to know, everything I do will always come from my spirit, from my soul, with every fabric of my being. My testimony is true to all of you, and I hope to touch some of you so you can understand, yes, I'm 54. I've been through it all. People in my position, we've tried everything, and you're afraid to set yourself up for disaster because you tried all the snake oil and everything else. The black seed oil and everything, sure, it helps you, but it ain't helped me with what I'm dealing with. These patches, the X39, are a gift from God. God works in mysterious ways. This is a mysterious way. I didn't have to understand it, but it has made me a new man with a new life. And I hope that you all will try and bring it to others who are suffering. God bless you all. Thank you for your time.
Wow, thank you guys for that attention. I hope, guys, you can hear the testimony. I know sometimes when you play these videos and audios, it's not always clear. But I do want to just remind you, some people got on the call after we started. Make sure you put in the chat your name, because some people, again, don't have their name. They have their phone number, or it says iPhone. But again, put your name and then indicate who invited you so we know who is all here. So what I want to do at this opportunity, again, is now ask you to put on your business hat as we wrap up in the next 10 minutes. And I want you to think about, are you looking for a way to add income to your body, to your household? Are you looking to improve your lifestyle? Are you looking to, have some security outside of what you do? Again, we've been taught a long time ago, it's good to have multiple streams of income. This opportunity not only offers you an opportunity to help people heal in their health, which is really their wealth, but also give you an opportunity to participate in what we call nice wealth. Now, let's talk about this company, and you're going to see why it's such a great opportunity. First and foremost, this is a 20-year-old company. Last year was their 20th anniversary. We're in our 21st year. The company is around, they're in over 75 countries. And the reason you might not have heard the company is because even though they've been around for 20 years, when they first got started, most of the people associated with LifeWave were medical practitioners, doctors, nurses, holistic healers, people who understood the science and used it for their own clients and their own personnel. In fact, there are some doctors who actually left their practice to do this full time because they got better results with the patch than they did what we call traditional medicine and science. Now, the reason that this company is growing the way it is, it's not a Me Too product. And what I mean by that is not a company that offers weight loss, skincare, supplements, vitamins. And there's nothing wrong with those types of products. It's just that there's so many different places you can get them. They all claim to be the best and do the best you can get. You can even buy supplements at your local gas station. That's how accessible it is. Now, this company, when it started, 20 years ago, they did $17 million in their first year in business. They've averaged about $20 million a year for 20 years. But once they developed this X39 patch, look what happened between 2021 and 2022. The company went from $20 million a year to $320 million, right, in 1 year. The next year they did $430 million, and last year they did over $600 million in revenue. That's over $500 million, and again, and continuing to grow. This is, again, we have a push this year to get to $1 billion, and we're definitely going to make that happen. This is just a chart showing the growth of the company. You can see the growth. If you look at that little graph from left to right, LifeWave has been ranked the #1 momentum company in the world by businessforhome.org. And I'm not just in the United States, but in the world. This is a media company that actually evaluates direct selling companies based on their revenue, their membership, their leadership, their growth. And again, we are the #1 company in the world 2 years in a row. Now, I'm going to talk about the compensation plan. And like any other, LifeWave does not make no promise or guarantees regarding income. The success or failure of each LifeWave brand partner is like any other business. It depends on your skills and personal effort. And again, that's all it takes. Now, I'm going to talk about getting started with LifeWave. And you can get started in 3 ways or 3 packages. I said the first one is called a core package. And a core package actually is a 3 sleeves. And I'm going to show a sleeve is basically a 30-day supply of the patches. And so you get 3 of these, which is a 90-day supply. You get a discount because retail, those patches cost $149.95 if you were to buy them retail. However, if you get started as a brand partner, you get started for $295 and you get 3 of the sleeves. In fact, the membership fee is a $25 annual membership fee. That fee is actually waived if you come in as a brand partner, and now you can actually have your own business. You get a website. This is for somebody who just say, listen, I just want to try the patches for now. Maybe you not interested in building a business, but you may think about something in the future, but you can position yourself. Again, you can begin your journey at least with a let's say a 90-day supply. The company gives you 30-day, 100% money back guarantee if you come in as a brand partner. Next one is called an advanced pack. An advanced pack, you get 6 sleeves. And again, with the 6 sleeves, again, you have a 30-day supply for each sleeve. This is somebody who's looking at a way to generate some additional income. Because as you share this opportunity with other people, guess what? They're going to share with other people, just as Steve has shared it with you this afternoon. Again, there's a lot of opportunity here, and you get 6 sleeves. You get a slightly higher discount because you get 6 sleeves. And then the ultimate pack is a premium pack for somebody who knows they want to build a business, for the serious entrepreneur. It's $1,750, but again, you save $250 because again, normally that would be $2,000 for that many sleeves. Again, you also get some volume, and the volume, what that does, the volume allows you to convert that to commissions. Again, you also get 2 additional months of what they call a subscription, because one of the requirements to actually generate some significant income is at least have a subscription of at least 1 sleeve, which is one of these, which is $99 a month. And if you're interested in your health, the value that you're getting is you're getting healthy for something that you are using on a monthly basis, and you get them for about $87.50 a sleeve. Now, I don't know about you, if you don't love a discount, you can get one here. Now, it's important to having a monthly subscription. What a monthly subscription does, it allows your volume to continue to accumulate each month. Again, the reason if that's important, because the volume that you accumulate is converted to dollars. Again, so as you share with other people, who share with other people, who tell other people, guess what? You have an opportunity to get compensated by sharing what you experience like anything else. If you think about it, if you go to a hairstylist or a nice movie or a nice restaurant, don't we also tell other people about those things? Oh, of course we do. But does the company send you a check and say, thank you for sending so-and-so to the movies? They bought popcorn and soda and candy. Or thanks for sending this person to the hairdresser. We're going to send you a thank you check for sending them. That doesn't happen, but it's something we do naturally, because when you have a good or bad experience, we tell people. In fact, when you have a bad experience, you tend to tell more people. So again, your monthly subscription at the minimum is 1 sleeve subscription. What that does, it keeps your points growing month after month. It's like a savings account that builds over time that you will eventually get compensated for. And if you want to maximize the compensation plan, you need to have a 2 sleeve subscription. 2 of these sleeves. Again, if you're working it with a couple, you need one as well, one for yourself and one for your partner, because again, you want to be healthy. I get at least 4 of these a month because I get one for myself, my wife, my mother, and my oldest brother who's had some challenges. And again, it is worth the value. If you think the value of these sleeves is costly, think about the value of bad health. It's actually more costly. Now, to get these packages, you can actually fill out an order form, or you can actually go to the website of the person that invited you there. We'll show you how to get started. Again, with the core pack, you get 3 sleeves. With the advanced pack, you get 6 sleeves. And with the premium pack, you get 20 sleeves. Again, a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. Again, so again, the power of these patches is that they help you heal, but it also takes care of your financial concerns. Now, just to give you an idea of the success of this company, what you see in the background, that is the office building. The company just had their grand opening last year. Think about this. The company's been around for 20 years. They just had their grand opening last year, all because of what the X39 has done. It's a multi-million-dollar facility, a state-of-the-art. You can even go visit the office, just make an appointment and see the state-of-the-art things that they're doing. That is the grand opening of the company. And let me talk about the 4 ways you can get compensated as I wrap up. The first way you get compensated if you decide to become a brand partner is you can ask, you're going to have a website. If somebody decides they want to purchase a 1-month supply of the sleeves and they buy it from you retail is $149.95. You will earn a $50 commission every time somebody buys one of these sleeves. If they decide they want to get a discount as you have, they will become what's called a preferred customer. And the preferred customer just says, hey, I'm willing to sign up for a monthly subscription, which I can cancel at any time. It's $99 a month, but you will earn $20 every month when that person purchases this sleeve. We had a gentleman who just got started in Virginia. He has over 15 customers in his first 2 weeks. So you do the math, 15 times 20. He earns $300 a month already. And this is only the first way we get compensated, and that's called retail profit. The second way we get compensated is called a product introduction bonus. As I shared with you earlier, there's 3 packs you can get started at. The first one's called a core pack. Second one's called an advanced. Third one's called premium. They all have what's called business volume. When you see BV, that just means they have a value that is converted into commissions as you start to build your team. Every brand partner enrolled, you will receive a product introduction bonus. It's just as it sounds. You get a bonus for introducing other people to join, and it could be anywhere from $35 to $405, depending on which pack they select. Even if no matter which one you start at, you can actually enroll someone in any of those packs. And not only do you get the one-time commission, you also get that volume, which again converts into dollars. Now, when you get started, one of the first things you want to do is take advantage of what we call weekly binary commissions. And the binary simply means 2. And the way the binary works is you have 2 teams. Just think about it as allowing people to have their own franchise. You have 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Once you get to the position of manager and above, you can earn up to $25,000 per week. You can earn $100 per week in binary when you first get started. But once you get to the position of manager, and I'm going to focus on manager because once you get to manager, all you have to do is help the people that you enroll become manager and help those people become manager. If you do that, you will be moving to the right. And again, you can earn up to $25,000 per week. It's capped at $25,000 a week, but that's a great cap because if you think about the volume, that's over $1 million a year. And this is only one of the 4 ways we get paid. Now, the only thing even more generous than that is what we call a matching bonus. But let me first explain the compensation plan in terms of the binary. The beauty of a binary commission is you just have a left side and a right side. Do you know at least one person that's overworked, one person underpaid, somebody sick and tired of their job, somebody who's retiring and looking for an additional income? Well, you can introduce 2 people to your left and to your right. And once you do this and you fill in those 4 slots, you are now promoted to what's called a manager. And as I share with you, a manager can earn up to $1,500 per week in the binary. But the beauty of the binary is that you're not working for yourself. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And let me explain how that works. Let's say that is you and you got started. You share this with 4 people. There's some people above you who got started before you. And you can only put somebody on your left and right team. So if somebody gets started this week and Steve joins Steve's team and you're on his left side, his right side, guess what? Next week, when somebody else joins Steve's team, they have to go on Steve's left or right. And that person can wind up under you. We have people in this business that have hundreds of people that have got started after someone else, and they are all under them. That means all of the volume that they're accumulating is sitting there waiting to be earned by you in what's called a binary commission. Again, that could be up to $25,000 per week. We cover this in our training. We have videos, we have PDF, we explain it in detail. Again, so we explain how this works for you, and anybody can do it. This is the great thing about a binary is you can out earn a person that actually introduced you. It's not one of those things where if you're the first in, you're going to make the most. No, you just have to fill in the binary, take advantage of it because everybody contributes to everyone else that's in their binary. Now, this is an example of the binary. Again, it's the first part of the compensation plan. And this is very significant because if you get good at becoming a binary, which means you have two legs, the left and the right side, all you have to do is continue to help those individuals become managers. And you just keep doing that and duplicating that over and over again. Very simple structure, but very rewarding. And last but not least, you have something called a matching bonus. So the binary has a limited. You can only earn up to $25,000 per week in the binary. However, in the matching bonuses, there's unlimited income potential. And the way this works is when you enroll someone into LifeWave, it's almost like a second compensation plan because anytime you enroll someone, they're on your first level or your first generation. I like to use an example of your family. You have children. If you have children, your children represent your first generation. Now, anytime you enroll someone in your first generation, you're going to earn a 25% match of what they earn. So let me give you an example. Let's say you invite me to take a look at LifeWave. I like what I see. I join. Let's say I have a good week and I earn $1,000 this week. Guess what? If you are the one who enrolled me, you're going to earn a 25% match, which is $250 as long as you're a manager or above. So again, you get to manager, you get a 25% match of whatever I earn in anyone in your first generation. What if you have 10 kids on your first generation or 10 people that you enroll in your first level? You multiply that by a factor of 10. Now, obviously, I know people that you don't know. So if I'm on your first generation, guess what? I also have a first level, which actually is your second level, your second generation. You're going to get a 20% match of everybody at the second level, and it goes to another third level where you get another 20% match. And again, this is unlimited potential. We have plenty of people that have already exceeded that and exceeded the binary and are taking advantage of this as well. So again, you can fill out a form to get started. You can select which package you want to get started at, or if you want to be a retail customer and you want to pay the $150 as opposed to $99, you can do that as well. Again, but the bottom line is you can take advantage of not only getting the package at $99, but you can also be positioned within the binary by becoming a brand partner. You get a website that which you can activate right away. You can invite people to shop on your website. They can also join from your website, and you can actually be in business overnight. Okay. Now, for those of you who want some more information, this is our training site. It's called This Is It Team. That is where we put information on how to sign people up, how to get a customer. The presentation is on there. If you want to do the presentation yourself, you can download the presentation, the compensation plan. We have all kind of resources there. You can literally build a business if you can follow instruction to follow our training site. This is where we list all our marketing calls, our Zooms, our training. And you can even get information on David Schmidt and the science behind it. We also have another site called This Is It Info that allows you to do research and know who we are. Now, for those of you who do join, we do have some marketing materials that you can use. You can get this card. It's a two-sided card. It's very simply. On one side, it talks about the benefits of the X39. On the other side, it has the website This Is It Info. If you have not visited that site, please go to thisisitinfo.com. Watch the first 3 videos. It'll take you literally less than 10 minutes. It'll explain to you what phototherapy is. You have David Schmidt explaining to you how the patch works. There's also the links are there if you want to look into the science. The patents are there. The technology is there. The case studies are there. Everything that you need to know about LifeWave is there. We also have an app called In Touch LifeWave. Actually, the company gives you as a brand partner where you can actually manage your business from the app. That's free. That's included with your membership. Again, these are the 2 sites you want to jot down. This is at info.com. This is at team.com. So again, that's where the information is. If you go there, you'll see that we have calls every day. In fact, today is Sunday. We have a training call at 8 o'clock for new brand partners. It's called New Brand Partner Training. If you happen to be on Steve's team and team's organization, he has a team huddle where they get together every Sunday and they teach and go over any questions and help people build their businesses. Again, we have a big event coming up. For those of you who either live in the Atlanta area or know people that live in Atlanta, we have what's called a regional event, X39 regional event, featuring 3 people who are all well over 7 figures in income, starting with Steve and Gina Merritt. They are multi-millionaires. They've helped create hundreds of other millionaires and other companies. They actually didn't do anything for almost 6 years until LifeWave came along. And within 2.5 years, our team became the #1 team in a 20-year-old company because of the success in the training system that we have. Stephen, we're going to also have the host Harvey and Verdita Monk. They are senior presidential directors. That just means they're at the top of the company. They're able to earn the $25,000 per week. They're making the matching bonuses. They change their lifestyle. And then none other Ken and Lynn Robinson. Ken and Lynn Robinson are what's called elite senior presidential directors. Elite simply means you're in the top 30 money earners within the company. Now think about this. This company's been around for 20 years. Our team has only been around for 3 years, but we are already partially responsible or greatly responsible for the growth of the company because we're helping people have success. And the only reason you're going to have success is because it works. If it didn't work, believe me, we wouldn't be approaching a billion-dollar company in a short period of time. And again, you can ride that wave with us and take advantage of it. Now, before I close out, I wanted to give Steve an opportunity to thank his guest, but also I just wanted to see if one of our partners is on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see Dr. Stroman. Okay. So, Steve, if you wanted to say a few words, thank your guest to get on, if you don't mind coming off camera.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Is this thing gonna let me get off?
Yeah, let me make sure your video was
Yeah, my video is
yeah, I'll make sure. Let me start your video.
yeah, open it up so I can get in there.
All right, give me 1
Can I
second.
start the video because it's disabled?
All right, so you should be able to start your video.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There we go.
There you go. Go ahead, Steve. You want to thank your guest?
Man, it is more than the thanks I have for you. It is, I literally feel indebted for everybody making the time because it's busy. It's Holy Week, Sunday work. I feel literally indebted just for you to take the time to listen to all this, you know. If it touched you, if it makes sense or sparked something great, we could build on it. If you think you're perfectly fine, you're never gonna get sick or you have no issues, you know, it's all open, it's all free. It's however you feel. You know, I jumped in because I know I need the help physically. And I like being around positive people and Derek and his family and the team, very motivating people to be around. And I tell you right now, 62, cancer survivor, I need all the help I can to make each day. I know we have some cancer survivors on this line, and we aren't trying to get back into that scenario of feeling sick again. So we're doing what we can to maintain. So don't wait till you feel bad to think you need to reach for help. Be proactive. Do what you need to feel better at this stage. Don't wait till you feel sick to say, oh, I got to go take a pill. Do what you got to do now to prevent from even getting that sick. And that's my last word. Love and respect all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes.
All right, so thank you, Steve. And before we close out, again, let's remind everyone again. Now that you've seen the information, you can never say you don't know. Again, now it's time to make a decision, make a move. Again, unfortunately, a lot of times we spend a lot of our wealth trying to get to wealth, in fact, and then we actually lose and jeopardize our health, and then we want to spend all our wealth to improve our health at a later stage. So many people work all their lives, get to retirement, get sick, and now all that they've earned and put their time into, they're trying to take care of themselves and they wind up losing their wealth. So again, you have an opportunity. If you're serious about your dream, if you put your dreams on hold, I know a lot of people have been they've given up on their dreams because they think it's too late for them. I'm working with a gentleman that's 82 years old. He's a chiropractor out of Florida. Gentleman had a heart attack. After his heart attack, he went into depression, wanted to actually take his life. Got hold of one of our partners, started using the patches. First thing he noticed is his energy, his mood changed. He had issues. Again, got better. He recovered from a stroke. Now the gentleman is actually in the gym doing pull-ups at 82 years old, and he gives all that thanks to LifeWave and the X39 patch. Again, so you want to get started. I like to close with this quote a script. It says, "Withhold not good from those to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do so." Let me repeat that. Withhold not good from them to who it is due, when it's in the power of thine hand to do so. We have a lot of people that are sick. We have a lot of people that are on medications. We have a lot of people that looking for a way to just live life comfortably. And again, unfortunately, the pharmaceutical cartels have such a hold on medication and drugs and surgery that people don't have a choice. But you do have a choice now. Again, that is X39. So you want to get back to Steve. Let him know if you have any questions. We'll be glad to ask you a question before you tell how to get started. For those of you looking to come on board, we welcome you. You'll be joining the #1 team in the country, in the world. And again, it looked like somebody was tempted to chat. Yeah, and anyway, thank you for joining us. Get back to the person that invited you. Again, we look forward to joining you. Enjoy the rest of Sunday. Get ready for this week and be blessed and have a good day.